For our final section of notes, we're going to be solving equations that take multiple steps to factor. So I'm taking the previous section and adding in the zero product property. So this equation here, this one is already written in standard form. So then the next step would be to factor the left-hand side. And on the left-hand side, remember we always start with a GCF, so 2x cubed, 8x squared, and 6x. That has a GCF of 2x. When I factor out the 2x, I'm left with x squared plus 4x plus 3. Remember to figure that out, I'm doing the opposite of distributing. Then I'm going to factor the x squared plus 4x plus 3. Further, that is a trinomial. So this is the one where I figure out what two numbers multiply to AC but add up to B. In this question, AC would be 3 and B would be 4. The two numbers that multiply to 3 but add up to 4 are 1 and 3. So I replace the middle term with a 1x and a 3x. I use the grouping method. X squared plus 1x, that has a GCF of x. 3x plus 3, that has a GCF of 3. I've got a common binomial of x plus 1, and I factor that out. When I factor out the x plus 1, I'm left with an x plus 3. So x squared plus 4x plus 3 factors into x plus 1, x plus 3. And I'm ready to use my zero product property. I have three things multiplied together this time, and I'm ending up with an answer of 0, which means one of those three things is 0. So either the factor of 2x is 0, or the factor of x plus 1 is 0, or the factor of x plus 3 is 0. And I'll solve all of them. So for 2x equals 0, I divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 0. For x plus 1 equals 0, I subtract 1 from both sides and I get x equals negative 1. For x plus 3 equals 0, I subtract 3 from both sides and get x equals negative 3. So I have three possible answers. Remember that you can go back to the original problem and you could plug in the 0 for all of the x's. You will get 0 equals 0. It does work. You could plug in the negative 1 for all of the x's. You get a true statement. You could plug in the negative 3 for all of the x's, you get a true statement. So that's how we would check our work to know that it is correct.